Good. All right.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello, good
Hello,
morning.
Nora. How you doing?
Morning.
All righty. So I'm broadcasting the class in YouTube live. Again, it's how do you call it? It's not, it's private.
Private.
It's private, and the class in YouTube live. Again, it's there we go. It's perfect. I'm sending you the link so you can have it in case. All right. So I was checking hold on a second. So how was your weekend? How's your weekend?
Great.
Great. Tell me, what do you do?
Good so far. Thank you.
Well, so far, yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. How was your week? Your working week?
Tired, but okay.
A lot of work.
Yeah, a little
Mhm.
too much work.
Too much work and many homeworks for my girls.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. How's classes in Zoom helping you out?
I find them more tiresome. You know, it's staring at the screen all day long, being sitting down all day long is so tired for me. I'm not used to it, you know, and I love being in the classroom. I love being with my kids. I love moving around. So this has been a challenge. This has been a challenge.
Okay. Yeah. And if we are not used to it, or if we feel if we having problems with you know, if we used to work out or at least walk in the classroom, was going to be challenging, no? Yes. So can you hear me? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, very good. So today's class, there was some questions about homework. Honestly, I kind of mixed my other TKT class on Wednesdays, so I don't really remember what homework was.
No,
I
you
know,
didn't let us do anything. I think it was like complete the lesson plan that we did in class, that we create in class, and I think that was it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so then I mixed my other TKT class anyways. So today's class is about, it's about grammar, okay? Grammar has always been controversial and always been the cocoa for one of English teachers, because we need actually to study more and prepare more for the classes, right? So, but also, for some reason in the history of humankind, it's actually the reason or the easiest or the tendency teachers try to do every class. Like for example, we're working on 7 in the morning or right after recess, whether Zoom or on face-to-face classes. For some reason, English teachers tend to focus only on grammar. Ya sabes, ¿no? The Kool-Aid teacher, write on the board 10 sentences, copy on the class, on the notebook, and open your workbooks on page 56, exercises 1 to 20, and when you finish, let me know. Why do you think it's a tendency of English teachers use or only focus on grammar, on teaching grammar?
Because it's the easy way out, I think.
Exactly, it's the easiest. You just walk into the classroom, have the students do 20 exercises on the workbook, on the notebook, and you just do your lesson planning or the evaluations,
Yeah.
or
learn it by memory, you know?
Exactly. That's why there are many, I'm talking about the majority of students in university or even in master's degree or PhDs saying, pues es que yo toda mi vida he estado en inglés, pero no he aprendido nada. I mean, they know verb to be, they know present continuous, but they just can't speak. That's because teachers only focus on grammar. Okay. However, grammar it's not bad. What is bad is only focusing in grammar. Today, we're going to learn how to teach grammar. Okay, how to teach grammar. All right. Can you listen to me? Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. So for you, Kareli, what is grammar for you? Are you here, Kareli? Yes.
Grammar is learn the structure, the sentences, or times. For example, when you should have learned the past simple, and you learn the structure. Maybe, I think.
Okay. That's one definition. Let's talk about some of the definitions that we have here. It says the grammar of a language. Continue reading, Nora.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The grammar of a language is the description of the ways in which words can change their forms and can be combined into sentences in that language.
Very good. Do you agree with that, Nora?
Yes.
All right. Grammar is sometimes defined as the word we put together to make correct sentences. Thus, I am a teacher is grammatical, correct? But I a teacher and I are a teacher aren't. It's or even smaller units such as went to go. I've heard native speakers, people saying that. So that's grammatically, like Rosario said, is the best way out. Grammatically correct, grammatically incorrect. Okay. What would happen, Rosario, if we didn't have a good grammatical language?
We'll lose the structure.
Pretty much, okay. And it will be hard to understand, maybe.
And to speak and everything, yeah.
Exactly, very good. Rules. So grammatical structure, we're going to call it a specific instance of grammar, examples, past tense, non-plural, comparatives, indirect speech, okay, even smaller units like noun, verb, and all of those terminology, all of that terminology that it gives us in the nerves, right? Can you think in an example of a structure that exists in English but not in Spanish?
Irregular verbs.
Irregular verbs, very good. That's one.
Es mi coco.
There are many. Sorry?
Sorry, es mi coco.
Yes, there was. Everybody's. It's every English every English teacher coco. Don't worry about it, because you have to memorize it. There's no
Exactly
other,
so.
Yeah, there's no other way to learn it. No rules, no anything.
Exactly.
Okay. So bottom line, grammar is important in classes. I have here a comic, British humor. Can you read it, Patricia?
Yes. The grammar lessons? The chart?
Yes, but the comic.
Let me see. I can see it really well. Okay. So, who are you spending your birthday with? Done in a sentence with a preposition. So, who are you spending your birthday with? Miss Grammar correcting this notes, which?
Again, it's a grammar, it's a British humor, right?
Yes.
The girl, the lady was, the first lady, the second lady was right. You can't end a sentence with a preposition. That is correct. However, was the question made, was it incorrect? I mean, was it not used in the English language?
Is used. It's
Exactly.
like slang, right? Yeah.
It's informal. It's colloquial.
Exactly. It's common.
Language.
Exactly.
Exactly. But you know, it's some humor. What with a grammar and grammar rules and structures, how would the classes be?
Boring.
Boring. That's one. Difficult. Confused. Thank you, Marta. Exactly. So to teach grammar, there are two approaches, two tendencies of approach. Number one, can you read number one? Let's say who's here. Marta, please.
There are two main approaches when presenting grammar: dividing the whole English language into manageable, bite-sized cookies, and then introduce them to students one cookie at a time so that they gradually and systematically accumulate a complete picture of the language.
Very good. So this is one approach, that you divide into smaller size, you know, it says manageable, eatable cookie size, the grammar example. If you have simple present, you will have, or present continuous, you will have in one class present continuous affirmative, and then another class present continuous negative, and then another class present continuous questions, and so forth. Because if you teach all at once, what would happen Carelli?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, what would happen if you teach all present continuous topics in one class?
What happened?
Yes.
I don't understand the questions. What
Yeah.
happened?
Example, you need to teach present continuous.
Okay.
So if you teach all present continuous, negative, present continuous, affirmative, present continuous question forms, present continuous obvious questions, blah, 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 and only one class, will your students, first of all, will your students understand you?
Now is if I teach all the structures in present continue is very it's much. It's a lot of structures and maybe the students confuse.
Exactly, it's too much. So that's why the first approach is to separate, the topics. One class present continuous affirmative, another class present continuous negative, and so forth. Okay, that's the first approach, and in my personal experience is the best and is the easiest between those. And in a language institution or in a primaria or secundaria, wherever you're teaching, and wherever you're teaching, it's the best. Now, the second approach, can you read it, Nora?
Create an environment where a lot of a language, known and unknown, is met, mainly when doing speaking and listening tasks, and where the students are helped with a new language only when they already have some awareness of it and have curiosity of questions about it.
Very good. So this is called, in some other books, the intuitive approach, or the deductible, no, the induced approach, and some other terminology. But what it is that you create, for example, if you're teaching present continuous, you have on your walls, or in this case in Zoom, a lot of visuals, a lot of people doing activities, but you never ever mention grammar. You never ever mention a grammar structure unless or until a student asks you. Now, this is a very cool approach. Harmon Hall, when it was Harmon Hall, I'm talking about 20 years ago, it was pretty cool about that. Teachers were forbidden to talk about grammar. Okay, so that was pretty cool. However, it requires lots of preparation. It requires lots of visual aids. It requires that your students want to learn. Now, that's a whole different story because, for example, if you are teaching in a secundaria and primaria, Rosa, you're teaching primaria or kinder? Kinder, right?
No, primaria, second grade.
Primaria, okay. Second grade. Okay, well, still little dudes. But,
Yeah,
but normal student, normal Mexican student, and I'm talking not being racist, I'm just saying a normal Mexican student, they don't like it. They don't want to learn. They just want to cover the subject and pass time and whatever it is. So that's why the second approach, it doesn't work in schools like that, unless if a student or students that want to learn, that want to participate, that behave, that practice English, don't talk Spanish. Yeah, in an utopic world that happens, but normal in a normal world like us mortal is different. So let's focus on the first approach and then focus on the second approach. Both are correct. Both are beautiful if properly applied. So who decides how to use and how to teach grammar? Well, it basically depends on three things. Number one, Fabiola, you here? Can you read it? Manifest.
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. Can you read number one?
Yes. It basically would depend on the institution. Some institutions promote the intuitive approach. Some other promote the teaching of grammatical structures.
So it depends on institution. If you have the fortune of working on your own or having your own school or being the coordinator, whatever, then you would decide. But normally, the institution actually has its own rules. Like I've known schools that zero grammar or intuitive program, or I have schools that even have Tuesdays and Thursday grammar, no? or Mondays grammar, whatever. So, you know, it depends on the program. It depends on, like, for example, the ones that are working for CEP. I don't know if you have you or are you currently working for CEP? The famous educación basada en competencias. That's pretty much the intuitive approach. Nobody uses it, but that's the program. And so the institution tells you what to teach. Okay. Number two, Marta.
Your group. How can I group influence in the way of teaching grammar? There might be one group that because of background on time of the day grammar is the easiest thing.
Mm-hmm. That is, for example, is it the same to teach a group at 7 in the morning that 1 p.m.?
No, not at all.
Very different. Might be the same level. It may be actually the same group, but just because of the time of the day, it really varies. So then teachers, this is not, you're not supposed to do it, okay? You're not supposed to do, but some teachers find it easier to teach grammar in certain hours of the day because they want to leave, because the teacher doesn't want to deal with the students, blah, 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 blah. That's a whole different story. We'll talk about that in about 2 classes about group control. That's a whole different story. But yes, grammar, your group decides what, or not decides, but influences in your way of teaching. Okay. And number 3, Kareli.
The program you are to follow. Does your program allow you to teach grammar?
Well, yeah, like for example, the ones that have given or taken a TOEFL preparation course. That's only grammar.
Here's I saw a book in the English of the high school, and I pay attention in the program, and it had too much in only one or first block.
Okay. The first block has a lot of grammar?
Yes. It had too much.
Yeah, in the one you sent us, the mock exam, the Cambridge mock exam.
Yes, the first module of the TKT. That's why I'm taking into grammar the class. It's about grammar and phonetics. So don't worry, Kareli. Actually, let me tell you this. Parenthesis.
I saw a book of English in the high school in maybe it's Cebetis. No, it's other school. I saw the read the program. I pay attention to the program, and the book had three blocks. In the one block, I saw the many, no, too much grammar. Is for me is very, I think it's very difficult and the old program.
It is difficult. If you have the chance, if you have the chance and if it doesn't compromise your work, send us a picture of the program. That will be interesting to see. That's a public program, ¿verdad? It's from the government.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. You know what the worst part is, and everybody, the students don't have the level. That's even the worst part, because they expect too much from students. Oh well, that's our country, huh? That's a whole different story. Okay, so regardless of what the program and regardless of the institution, it's important for you as a teacher to know what's the best form to teach grammar and what's the best to apply in your classes. Okay. All right. Another one, picture with some British humor. Can you read it, Rosario?
Yes, you rock, you rule.
British. Okay, so understanding grammar ourselves first. This is very important. Can you read the first point, Patricia? Please.
Yes. In order to present grammar, we need to understand it first ourselves and then prepare any presentation.
That's very important. Do you agree with this, Patricia?
I totally agree with this.
It is important because even if your program tells you that tomorrow you need to teach present simple and you're like, present simple, come on. I've been teaching English for many years. Well, yeah, but you need to master it first. Okay, it's good to be confident. That's actually pretty cool, but it's very awful overconfident. Teachers with experience tend to be, and I'm including myself, overconfident. I even heard teachers saying, "Es que yo improviso mejor." Dude, that's not true. You never ever do that. You need to prepare.
We have to be prepared before give a class. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And more than that, before even making your lesson planning grammar, you need to understand it first. Many years ago, I applied. That was like, I don't know, 25 years ago, maybe. I applied for a job in one of the tecnológicos in Guadalajara, and my English teacher. So they asked me to do a show class, right? Well, that's cool. On the next day, to teach causatives. And I was like, oh, cool. Can you do it? Like, of course. Then I walk out of the office and like, oh my God, what in the world is causatives? So, but back in those days, and Rosario knows what I'm talking about, we didn't have Google. We didn't have, say, Google or internet or anything like that. We actually have public libraries. And some of our Larousse dictionaries and some encyclopedias, but other than that, we didn't have any, at least not a handy resources. You remember those days, Rosario?
Yeah, I remember.
It was difficult. So yes, I had to go to the public library, look for English books, and then I found out what causative was. That night I didn't sleep because I kind of freaked out. Do you know what causatives is? It's pretty easy.
No.
Once you know them.
No, what is it?
Causatives is the make, the get, the have, let the dogs out. Or for example, I make my sister do the laundry. or I get the mechanic to fix my car. So it's pretty easy. Once you understand it, at first was like, oh my God, what in the world it was. No? So bottom line, don't ever get overconfident, okay? You need to understand first the grammar. In order to do that, we need to analyze or study the grammar tense or the grammatical issue or the grammatical term. See, that's why the class today is grammar analysis. Tips, number one, never present grammar without analyzing it. Save your analysis for future, for the future, and always enhance and update your analysis. See the picture or the drawing? This is going to lead you, I promise that, in one point of your life. But that's good, you know? That means that you're learning. So once that you learn, then you save it, you keep it, and then you grow as a better teacher, okay? So how do we conduct a grammar analysis? Number one, can you read it? Who's here? Let me see. Nora, please.
Yes, number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Names. How is this grammar structure called? Be careful of researching all names.
This is very important. Very important. One time I had to do an open class. You know what an open class? Institutions, some schools ask you to do like a show class for parents. You know, it's like a selling thing. So I have to conduct an open class to parents. And my topic was present progressive. And as a good Mexican, I didn't prepare until the last minute. And then I was really stressed. Really stressed of what present progressive was because I didn't know. Marta, what is present progressive?
Excuse me?
Marta, what is present progressive?
It's like when you do an action and it will be continued.
Okay, let me paraphrase the question. What is another name for present progressive?
Present continuous.
Exactly.
Continuous.
Exactly. I didn't know. So yes, once I had to research and like, oh my God, it's present continuous. So yes, according to the books, names, different books, different countries, different names. So you have to actually make sure of all names in your research. That's number one. Number two is the Rosario.
Concept, language content. It's the most important part of the analysis. Assign a concept or a language content to the structure. When are my students using the grammar structure? What are the situations in which my students produce the grammar structure? Example, simple present, students, books, topics.
So for example, if it's a student present, simple present, a concept would be routines, schedules, or if you are in a British program, the schedules. Yes, and but don't worry too much about that. Normally, the new students' books come with the topics. So you open the famous 2 pages, and on the one on the left on top, it says the topic of the unit. That is your concept. Traveling, a visit to the zoo, I don't know, thousands of topics. So don't worry too much about that, okay? Number 3, you back, Nora? Yes, can you read it?
Listen back. Okay. Divide the analysis into these elements to analyze. Number 3, grammatical structure. Number 4, rules.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, first
Okay.
number 3.
Okay,
And the
grammatical.
number, yes, and the number 3, you actually research or investigate what is the structure. Ya sabes, ¿no? El monito, monito that stands for the subject, the verb, the complement, or whatever it is that you're using. Rules. Viola, number 4.
Yes, spelling rules, pronunciation rules.
That's actually very, thank you, Viola. That's actually very important. You need to research all the rules of that particular grammar point. Why? Don't be like the Kool-Aid teacher says, ¿por qué, maestro? ¿Por qué, miss? Porque así es el inglés. Don't say that, really. Porque así es. You need to research. You need to master the topic. You need to give them a reason. Okay? Now, it's number 5, Marta.
Exceptions. Do we need exception in English grammar?
Do we have exceptions in grammar in English, Marta?
Yes.
To the rules. Yes, can you think of one?
Not in this moment, but I am thinking.
There are many, but that's okay. Rosario, you have one?
Yeah, many. I'm thinking we call them high frequency words, you know, that they don't have any grammatical explanation. Like there are so many they, them, I don't know, like the list is.
There are many.
Yeah.
And that's valid then to say that it's an exception. Like, for example, the famous and the unfamous irregular verbs.
Exactly. And they don't have any explanation. It's just, they are like that, you know?
Exactly. My explanation when a student says, ¿y por qué, teacher? ¿Por qué si no termina ED? ¿Y por qué acá, blah, blah, blah? My explanation is simple. English comes from 5 different languages. 17% is Latin. Then it comes from a very, very old English, or excuse me, German, an old German dialect. 2 Nordic dialects and 1 Romantic dialect. So, therefore, on a difference than Spanish that comes only from 1 mother tongue that is Latin, English is a mixture, so therefore it has a lot of exceptions. Okay, so that's basically, and you can Google it, it has a lot of exceptions. Okay, number 6, yes, number 6, Patricia.
Yes. Possible activities related to concept.
Very, very important. Now that you have the concept, whether it's a trip to the zoo, routines, the schedules, whatever it is, now think in your students and think the activities that you might have. Number 7, Kareli.
Possible problems when presenting grammar. Is it adapted to local students? Is it relevant to my students?
Very good. You need to know your students. Okay, you need to know your students and see if the topic is relevant to them, if it's interesting to them, if it's adapted to local circumstances. And let me tell you one problem that you will always have. Okay, that is lack of vocabulary. Why?
Because if you don't know the words, if you don't have the words or the basics, you know, you cannot do anything, you know, you cannot speak, you cannot
Well,
read
that
anything,
is
right?
that's let's start from the premise that you have analyzed it, that you have all the vocabulary research.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
We're talking about
How to
possible
use it.
problems from students. Why would it be lack of vocabulary always a problem that you need to take in consideration from your students?
Yeah, because it has to be relevant. You know, you have to use their environment to apply the rules, right?
And because they're students, they don't know. So you will always have, and keep in mind that students are students. Lack of vocabulary is always going to be students, the problem from the students. If you keep that in mind, and this is important, if you keep that in mind, you will avoid the famous, Miss, how do you say? Miss, ¿y ahora aquí qué va? Miss, and then you waste a lot of time. When you think in your students and the lack of vocabulary, for example, you're talking about your concept is a trip to the zoo, no, per se. Okay, so what vocabulary do you think my students doesn't know? Okay, what my students doesn't know. So let's say a giraffe, a caretaker, or I don't know, words that you know that they don't know and they will ask you. So when you anticipate that, believe me, your class goes much smoother. Okay, and then number 8 is the Marta.
Possible questions for our students. Why, teacher? Because that is the way it is. Don't say that.
Don't say that. Anticipate the questions. Always have a reason. Even if the reason is because that's the way it is, because it is valid, don't say that. Give them a reason, because there's an exception, because English comes from different languages, I don't know. But if you say that word or that expression, porque así es, what is telling that expression to your students in the subconscious, Marta? You're the psychologist.
Yes, I think we have many answers, like you be the teacher, you don't understand all the reasons about the main topic, and for other part, maybe you don't have the interest to answer that questions, and that skill the motivate or our students.
Excellent. You nail it. You're telling your students, your question is not important to me. Or you're telling your students, I don't know, and I don't want to accept it. That's a whole different story. Okay. And finally, a joker. You know a joker? What is a joker? Not the one in the television. A joker, when you're playing cards, you have a joker, right? That is comodín. So why? Well, groups have different levels. Let's say, for example, you have prepared a nice lesson plan, a nice grammar presentation to one group. You finish on time on your 60-minute class. And then different group, different school, same grammar presentation, and then they were faster. And then you finish 45 minutes, and the 45 minutes or 15 minutes early. You need to have a joker, or you need to have something to play with them. No part of the class, but a game, a tic-tac-toe, a hangman, I don't know, something to play with. What would happen if you don't do anything in 5 minutes in your class?
They will get bored and
you lose them.
Yeah.
Discouraged to do something else.
Exactly. Chaos, anarchy, you lose credibility, blah, 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 blah. They bring it to Spanish, indiscipline, and all those things that we don't want to, experience. So have always a joker. Like, for example, my personal favorite is tic-tac-toe. You know tic-tac-toe, el gato? And so that game can be adapted to anything. So if you're teaching WH questions, okay, I divide the class, tamaleros versus pozoleros, you're the X, you're the O, and every square, you need to make up a WH question. If you're teaching, I don't know, present perfect, in every class, in every square, sentence with present simple or present perfect. So it may be adapted to any class, okay? So it's something like this. Okay, this is actually one of myself. This is your analysis, your chart of the analysis. We have the name as a present continuous affirmative and also present progressive. I learned it in the hard way. Concepts, actions in process, and actions in progress. That will be the definition. In the part of the concept, I personally first write the description. And then I give them a concept, okay? Actions in progress, actions in process. What is the difference? What is the difference between a progress and process? No? For example, let's say, Marta, you like reading?
I like what?
Reading. Read a book, reading books.
Yes, I love to read. Yes.
Okay. What are you reading now?
A psychologist book?
Okay, very good. Right now?
No, right now, but in my free time.
See the difference? One is in progress, one is in process. In progress is something that you're doing right now. But in process is that you actually are doing in your free time or you haven't finished. Okay, so you need to clarify that to your students. Otherwise it gets kind of confusing to them, okay? And then I give them the concept. It could be actions in the work, actions in home, or actions at school. Okay, so far so good? Or am I going too fast? No, good. Okay, so the structure, I'm playing soccer, she's eating at her parents, so the subject, the monito, present participle or gerund or a complement. Rules, add ing to the verb finishes in E, delete E, but if it's CVC, what does CVC stand for? Have you read it in some books?
Consonant, vowel, consonant.
Very good. So when it's consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant as in jog, and it turns into jogging. And the exception, is dying. The verb die, to die. You know this verb? When you paint your hair, or you don't paint your hair, you
dye your hair. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But it's because it's, teacher, ¿y por qué no se le quita la E? Because it's very similar to the verb die physically. So the English needs to distinct or, separate the two concepts. There you go. That's an exception and that's a reason. Possible activities. Oh, I had, because I lost it, I don't know where I put it. I had a huge poster, like really almost whiteboard size poster of the beach, no? A seashore, and the seashore is we have a bunch of people, yes, doing activities. And with the people had names. It had stack with the names, like Peter, Brian, Melissa, blah, 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 blah. So the question was, what is Peter doing? Or Melissa is playing soccer, I don't know. Okay, so my activity was family vacations, what are they doing? problems, always, 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 in fact, leave it in written, lack of vocabulary. Okay, and then not relevant for the students, possible questions. In the poster, on top of the poster, the title was something like a great day, a great day under the shiny sun. Y no falta el que está muy, ya sabes, ¿no? El que siempre te da problemas. Y Miss, ¿y por qué shiny sun no debe ser the sun is shining? So, I anticipate the questions. I finally had to cover with Scotch tape Scotch tape with the letters, okay? And finally, my joker was mimic the actions. So now this was when we had the classroom classes when you mimic the action. Okay, so far so good. All right, it's 11 o'clock. Do you want a pee break before moving into the next topic? Yes?
Yes, teacher.
All right, so let's take a pee break. It's 11 o'clock and 10 minutes, okay? So I'll see you here 11:10.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'll see you here in 10 minutes. Thanks. Ready, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. So we're going to divide the class into pairs. And then we're going to choose a grammar structure. Let me do it. Let me check who's here. A ver, Nora, Marta, Fabiola, and Kareli. Okay, so Kareli and Marta, let me write it before I forget. Kareli and Marta. Patricia, are you here? Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Patricia and Fabiola. Rosario and Nora. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll together. Okay, so perfect. Then let me tell you the grammar structure. Second conditional. And okay, normally I would do this for homework. No, not normally. Back in the days, it was homework. But now we have St. Google. And we don't need no homework, right? We don't need to go to public libraries. So let's analyze second conditional, okay? Why the same? Let me take a picture for you so you can send it to you. Okay, so very good. So what are we doing, Rosario?
Okay, we are, I don't know, talking about second conditional.
We're going to do the chart of the analysis for
Okay.
the second conditional. Let me write it for you.
Like if we are going to give a class on that?
No.
Ah.
No. We're not there yet.
Okay.
We are going to do this.
Ah, okay. The analysis.
But for second conditional.
Okay.
Okay. We have seen Google, so there's no problem. Let me take a picture for you. I'm gonna leave it in on the screen anyways. Okay, so how much time do you need? 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
15.
15.
I think 15. Yeah, 15 would be nice.
Okay, cool. So I'll give you 15 minutes. Remember, in the concept, the description and the description and the concept, okay? Not just focus only in the description. All right? Okay, go ahead. So it's 11:15 on the dot, so 11:30. Okay? If you can do something like this on Word, on PowerPoint, so you can share the screen with everybody. Let me actually, bueno, ahorita lo hacemos. Okay, good. Yes, Fabiola?
Yes,
Questions?
I'm sorry. Yes, we need to make an example using the second conditional. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I didn't get.
Yes.
Okay.
Do this short, but using conditional, second conditional.
Okay. Using this example, the how to conduct a grammar analysis, this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Kareli? Yes, cool. All right, so 11:15 on the dot, so 11:30. I'm going to be here anyways. If you have any questions, please just unmute your microphone and say, hey, dude, I have a question. And then I'll reply.
I have a question, Gerson, I'm sorry.
Yes, Fabian. Cool. Yes.
So we need to do the whole, like the name, the concept, structure, or only the concept and description?
No, that's what I'm saying. And the concept normally has two elements, the description and the concept.
Okay.
For example, in the example in the screen, the description is actions in progress, actions in process.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my concept is actions in vacations, actions at work, actions at home, or at school.
Oh, okay, okay. I got
Cool.
it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
No problem. All right, so off you go. Again, I'm going to mute my microphone and my camera, but I'm going to be here, okay? So just unmute your microphone if you have any question. How are we doing?
We are almost done, but not
Almost.
yet.
Okay. Cool. Ready?
I think so.
Perfect, excellent. So let's see. Let me see who's with whom. Kareli and Marta.
Teacher, can you give me 1 minute, please?
Yes, of course.
Because we are not finished yet.
Okay. You're almost done or half of it or no?
We're done.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna start sharing And Marta and Carelli, share your screen with your observations. Again, it's not doing the class, eh? I just want the analysis. Okay. All right, good. So, Carelli and Marta, off you go.
Okay, teacher, so we need to share our screen, but
Marta, I can share.
okay, thank you, Carolyn.
Okay.
We don't have an exception, teacher. But this is our work. Can you do the document more big? Thank you, Caroline.
Okay. The name second conditional concept. The second conditional is a structure used to talk about impossible or imaginary situations. Structure if plus simple past plus would plus base form. Marta, do you want to read?
Yes. Wait a minute, because okay. We use a past verb ought to, are imagine the present or the future to be different. The second, Kareli, I won't see the picture. Can you continue? It's very small too.
Yes. The rules, we use a past verb, so are imagining the present or the future to be different. The second clause of subject plus will plus verb, conditional verb, is conditional to the first clause happening or will only happen if the first part clause happens. We don't have exceptions and possible activities. Maybe examples, when you hate ice, or if I don't play the guitar every day, and the students say maybe the consequence. And possible problems, maybe not relevant for students. And possible questions, what is the difference between cold and would? And Joker, mimic the action, maybe a game.
On a role play, maybe.
Yes.
And that's our teacher.
Okay, okay. Teachers, feedback. Any comments?
Yes, I love the possible questions because I don't know the difference. I know how to use them, but I don't know the difference.
Very good. That's actually the first that I ask. I do have some observations, Carelli and Marta.
Yes, teacher.
The concept. In the concept, you just wrote the description, but you don't have the concept. You don't have a real life situation or when to use it, how to use it.
Okay, teacher. We put, I don't know, daily activities or abilities for the students. It's that?
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't use everyday activities or abilities that has It has nothing to do with the conditional, but I will use something like if I were a millionaire, or I won the lottery, or I'm an astronaut. I don't know, imaginary situations that the students, that your students will actually imagine and be appealed to it. I'm a soccer star, or I'm a rock star, or I don't know, something that the students relate to it. No? Remember, look at the description. It says it's an structure that used to talk about impossible or imaginary situations. Mm-hmm. Yes, a millionaire, or I'm an astronaut, or traveling to the space. I don't know. Your students. So that will be the topic of your presentation. Okay. And the structure, that's fine. I would just add would, could, and might. Rules, that's okay too. And exceptions, there is one exception though. You don't know?
No, teacher, I don't know.
Have you watched the movie? Well, that's an old movie. I don't know if you watched it. It's the Alexander the Great. It was kind of a gay movie, but it was a history movie too. And he kept saying, if I were the king of Alexandria, if I were the king of the known world, if I were the king of... So the exception and second conditional is that you use the past were for all the subjects. If I were, if she were, if he were, etc., etc. That's the exception.
Okay, teacher. In a moment, we complete the...
Yes, that's okay. You have a mistake in possible activities, Marta, in the example.
In the number one, right?
No, in the second one, second example.
I...
Well, actually, the first one I didn't really quite understand, but let's focus first on the second one. Where is the mistake? Check the rules. You're saying that the rules is if the clause if first subject and the past tense.
Yes, teacher. I put because I think this zero conditional, but it's the second conditional.
So it's
yes, it's my.
So if I didn't.
Yes.
If I didn't play the guitar every day, blah 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 blah. Good. So what is the difference between could, and might? You can use three models, no? It's would, could, and might. There are a lot of definitions. Some big, some very choros, Students don't need a choro. So what I do is I personally do assign concepts, or assign concept or meaning to the models. I say would is the same as I want to. Could is the same as I can. And might is the same as options. Example, if I were a millionaire, I would buy an island. Why? Because I want to. Or if I were a millionaire, I could buy an island. Why? Because I can. Or if I were a millionaire, I might buy an island or buy 4 airplanes. See the difference? same sentence, different concept, different meaning.
And should don't apply here.
No conditional. I mean, this is second conditional. Should
Second, yeah.
is first conditional,
Yeah.
or should have is for the third conditional.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, and mimic the action is fine. So please, Marta and Kareli, observations, okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to the next couple. That's Fiola and Patricia, I think. No,
Yes.
let me open the picture.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't work together, but I create my own little chart. But if you
Okay.
you want to go first, Fabiola, it's okay.
See? Okay. I did this in my notebook. The name, it would be the second conditional using the past simple. The concept would be actions in process. If we can use it to talk about things in the future that are not going to be true, or we can imagine something. We're going to imagine something, like some dream. The structure will be some examples. If I won the lottery, I would buy a big house, or she would travel all over the world if she were wealthy. The rules is if plus past simple plus would and the infinitive verb. And the possible activities I would like to complete a sentence. Imagine, for example, if I were, what would you do if you were an astronaut? If I were an astronaut, you complete the sentence. I would live in the moon. What about you, Patricia?
I would like to share my screen. Let me check this. Okay, I create this kind of little chart, a simple chart, and I will explain the structure is if plus sentence in simple past, subject plus wolf plus verb in simple form. Example, if I had a car, I will travel to Cuernavaca every weekend. This structure is applied on real situations. Exceptions, well, we have to use in every nouns where, and that's it.
Okay, let's follow Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
O sea, vámonos por partes. Fabiola, can you tell me your concept again?
My concept is actions in process. And we can use it to talk about things in the future that are not going to be true, or we can imagine some dreams.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that, Fabiola. I don't know where you read it, but it seems to me that that's first conditional. You might check on that one, okay? Because second conditional is it's an imaginary situation that happens in the present.
Okay.
So in fact, in other books, is no second conditional. It's called, in fact, in another books, is no second conditional. It's called future unreal. Excuse me, revés, unreal future, unreal present. So check on that one, okay?
Okay.
Just check on that one because it makes no sense. The examples that they are really good. That was pretty cool, but the description, no, it seems like more that one, okay, Fabiola?
Okay. Sí. Thank you.
Cool. So that was very good. You had your description, you had the examples, but you didn't have any or anything like that. Patricia, did you listen to me?
Can you repeat it, please?
Yes, you had your description, you have the examples, but you didn't have any possible questions or possible problems, Joker?
Yes. So I have to
So
work
what
on
happened?
that. Yes. I am on
Okay.
the moon.
All right.
Sorry.
No, digo, o sea, but okay. All right. Last but not least, Rosario and Nora? Yes.
Yes.
Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see the screen, please.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Okay, wait, the name is second, what's it?
Second conditioner.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, the concept. Okay, and that one, the name, Nora, goes into structure. If plus past simple, would plus infinitive, it goes to its structure, and yeah, the one in instruction is are the examples. Yeah. Okay, the concept. So we are going to use if I were on vacation, okay? We were thinking about if I were in the beach, on the beach, or at the beach, but that's like too, yeah, sorry?
So this is your subconscious talking?
Yeah, no, it's your back screen talking to me. So
oh yeah, that's right.
no, we were thinking about, I was thinking about if we were at school, you know, now. So we would use a mask every day. And so my head started spinning around with all the trouble, you know? Okay. So structure, Nora, you want to talk? Okay? Because I can go like.
Yes, the concept can be used, well, Rosario already explained how to use it, but it's just when you try to use a sentence that you wish that is happening right now. Like if I were on vacation, what will happen? So we're gonna use if, the past simple, and then the would. And we have here an example. If I won the lottery, I will buy a big house. Or probably I won't win the lottery, so I won't have any big house. I'm just living here.
Okay, the rules, number one, we can use it to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Number two, we can use it to talk about something in the present, which is, it is possible because it's not true. And number 3 is the example. If I had his number, I would call him. The exceptions, we can use were instead of was with I and he, she, and it. The possible activities, go Nora.
Yes, so we can make a second conditional with sentences
When-
incomplete.
Sorry, incomplete sentences, that's...
With
all right,
incomplete
yeah.
sentences.
Yeah.
Right.
We found that page online to do exercises, and it's pretty good. So if you want to see it, you can see it. Okay, and we can...
If you can copy and paste it in the WhatsApp, that'll be...
Okay.
Yeah.
Students will practice it in pairs. We can give them topics and they use it in conversations, right? And go, Nora, possible problems.
The possible problems that these students may have is that they are going to use the present simple instead of the past. When using, for example, if I were on vacation, I will not, like they will use verbs.
I'd be on the beach.
Right. That's a possible problem that we discussed maybe.
Yeah, like if I were on vacation, I go swimming, right? Using the present instead of the past. Okay, possible questions about vocabulary. Why were instead of was? Could be. But I don't know the answer of that, that one. But it's okay.
Porque así es, Miss.
Exactly, but because it's the way it is in English when we speak English. Because the teacher is saying so. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, the answer is very simple. And this question is valid. It's an exception.
Exactly.
If you can elaborate, if you want to elaborate more, you say, okay, because you will have always will have a brainiac that knows it all. Teacher, Miss, es que en la de Westlife dice, if I was. Okay, and it's true. So if you want to elaborate, say, my explanation is, where it's in formal English and was, and where is for informal English.
Nice.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, because it sounds better, right? If I were and if I was.
Yeah, así que
Okay.
suena bien.
Yeah, yeah. So we can maybe play a game, a memory game, the usual, you know, with the sentence, the both parts of the sentence written down and taken apart, so they can match, and it would be fun because maybe sentences don't match, you know, like if I were on vacation, I will go crazy, you know, or something, right? Or it cannot make sense, right?
Right.
I like it, very good. Teachers, any observations, feedback? No? I do have some observations. First of all, very good. I like the way you develop it. My only observation is, well, two observations. You said that the concept was if I were on vacation. Yes? That's your topic per se. Okay. But in the rest of the analysis, you don't even mention it anymore. And you mixed other topics, like for example, if I have his number, I will call him.
Yeah, examples. Yeah.
You know, you use other topics. So it seems to me that it's like, sorry?
No, go ahead.
So it seems to me like you had chile, mole, pozole in the analysis. Okay?
Let me explain why. Because we didn't grab the concept. at first. So when you were talking to Fabiola and no, who was first? Marta and Carelli, we changed that. We were talking about, oh, we have to have a concert, you know,
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, I figure.
Yeah.
I was just, yeah, I had to give it the observation, you know. But
Yeah.
yes, if your concept is, if I were on vacation, then all of your examples should be related to vacations.
Exactly so. Thank you.
Yes.
You know, this is Marta can tell us about it. This is a psychologist thing.
Mhm.
Okay, if you chile, mole, pozole, dulce, verde, rojo, students get confused.
Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
right.
You know, so that's my only observation. Other than that, it's pretty cool.
Thank
That's
you.
pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. All right. Can you? Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. So now, now let's talk about. Let me share my screen. Very good. Okay. So after we have analyzed the grammar structure, you know, ourselves first, then we follow. We transform the analysis into a main presentation or a grammar presentation. Ojo, this is not a lesson plan. Remember last class, we talked about lesson plan, the warm up, and a 50-minute, 60-minute tops. Okay, this is going to be like a mini class per se inside the main presentation. The main presentation will be your grammar presentation. After you do the analysis, you do the short, then you transform that into your main presentation, okay? Following these steps. We're gonna start with the first one. So I'm gonna be using, just to make it easier for everybody, I'm going to be using the second conditional example, okay? I'm going to be improvising, so it's perfectible. So the first, once you do in your 50 or 60-minute class, you do your warm up, you do your vocabulary presentation, then you begin the 15 minutes or 20 minutes main presentation, where you're going to present the grammar. So far, so good? Understandable? Okay, so you an introduction of the topic. If the grammar is a conditional and my topic, I am a millionaire, okay? And yes, that's my subconscious talking. So if I say, okay, so my dream car is what? What is your dream car? Remember, it's an introduction for the topic, correct? So I first model, my dream car is a DeLorean or original 84, a classic one. What is your dream car? Pues, what is your dream car, Nora?
A mustache? I don't know.
A Mustang, okay, cool.
A mustache.
Marta, la de los tamales que está en la esquina.
Un bochito.
Oh, yeah. Bueno, déjame decirte y presumirte que tengo mucho del 72 que estoy tuneando. It's very cool.
That's cool.
Rosa?
My dream car, a little one that doesn't consume a lot of gas.
Like a smart, no? Like the little ones.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I move on and say my dream place to live is I don't know, Spain, Monte Carlo. I don't know. I have a lot of it. So what is your dream place to live, Fabiola? Playa del Carmen. Oh, you live already there.
My dream.
Yes, go ahead.
My dream place to live is France. France.
France, very good. Excellent. Patricia, what is your dream place to live?
My place is Dubai.
Oh, yes, that's a dream
Nice.
place. Very
A lot of
good.
money there.
That is dream places in no payasadas. Very good. And then I go maybe 2, 3 more questions, so I get the attention of my students. Yes, everybody follow me? Very good. So then that's my introduction. After that, we go to the vocabulary, okay? This is something that we have already learned. So I will go, if it's a millionaire, I would millionaire, I think that's spelled, if not, correct me. Millionaire, a mansion, a dream, dreams come true as an expression. What else can you think of vocabulary? Well, pretty much. Millionaire, piggy bank, is the wallet. What is the word there, Rosario? Purse, correct? Yes, purse.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, and so forth. So I will go like that, no? So students can relate to it. That's pretty simple. Then after I done my vocabulary, I repeat and have everybody repeat and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Then I go to my main presentation. Here we are going to use the drills. Remember the drills?
Yes.
The drill number 1, which is the repetition, is mechanical.
Mechanical.
So
Mechanical.
in this part, exactly. In this part, I present the structure. So I will have flashcards of if, or in this case, if it's Zoom, you will have your screen with if, y luego subject, and then the would, the modal verbs, then the complement. Correct? Something like this. So I will say I, you, he, she, blah, 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 blah. And then I will have a monito. Es al revés, Sería así. Monito. Plus. Monito stands for what, Nora?
The I'm sorry, what's the question again?
Yeah, the monito. The monito stands for what?
The like I, you, she,
okay.
he.
Once you tell your students that, they always going to relate, and that's even better because you don't have to write the words. You just write the monito. Even they can tell you, so first the monito, ¿verdad, teacher? Yes. And then that's beautiful. They relate to it, to all the subjects, okay? Then it's here, sorry. Aquí you will have a big flashcard with if, of course, the monito, then the would, could, might, and then complement. See, and then you will have over here examples. If related to the topic, if I have a big wallet, I would buy a nice car. ¿Está bien? And you keep that as a first drill, and you ask students to relate to it. Example, a ver, Marta.
If I
Follow me. Follow my picture.
structure,
Yeah. First this.
okay.
Repeat. If
I would, no, if I could.
Well, first of all, acuérdate que ya les enseñaste que el monito tiene que tener some sort of money or house.
Okay,
So
like
again,
a more vocabulary.
okay. So again,
If I had big car, I could travel with all my friends.
very good. Obviously, Marta is a prodigy student. So a normal student will hesitate, but that's okay. That's mechanical. You just guide them. Once Marta and the rest get the fun of it, it comes naturally. Okay, so that's your mechanical drill, and you have 5, maybe 6 example of the mechanical drills. So far, so good. Then we go to the drill number 2, semi-mechanical. I would do complete the sentence. Okay, so I will still have the flashcard with if and bonito, and then blank, would, could, might, and then blank. Example, Nora, follow my guide.
Okay, if I
Okay.
If I had a guitar,
Bonito.
I may learn to play it.
I may
play it with my friends.
May is correct, Nora?
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I might, I'm sorry. Yes, I might play it with my friends.
Very good. Fabiola, follow my lead.
If I had a big car, I would go to Cuernavaca with my family.
Very good. Excellent. Now, Patricia, follow my lead. And then I'm going to vary a little bit the semi-mechanical drill. Patricia?
Yes.
Follow my lead.
If I okay. If she If she were a doctor, she could help to everybody.
She could what?
She could help to everybody.
She
She
could
could
have.
help.
Oh, she could cure. She could cure or everybody. Okay,
help.
very good. Very good. Okay, and then I go 2, 3 more different variations, and that's my second conditional. I mean, my second drill. Semi-mechanical. Okay. Then I go to drill number 3, the critical thinking. I will go something like this. Bueno, wait. Divide the screen like this, and then I will go. And I will say, like this, así. This is teacher, super teacher Yerson. Okay, this is my picture. So, Rosario, super teacher Yerson desires to be a millionaire.
Okay.
Why? Why would he desire to be a millionaire?
Because he would like to live on the beach.
Very good. So, and then I go with my famous flashcard. If
super teacher Gerson were a millionaire, he would like to live on the beach.
Excellent. Okay, Marta, super teacher Yerson wants to be living in Scotland in a big castle. Why and how?
If the super teacher Gerson would live in a castle, he would do party.
Pause there. Repeat again the sentence.
Okay. If the super teacher Gerson lived in a castle, he would organize a parties every day.
Ah, very good. Excellent. You know me perfectly. No, just kidding. All right. So then I will go 2 or 3 different more situations, examples, and then I would go a personal critical thinking. So, and then I will go with a question mark, and then I will say, Patricia, you here? Yes. Patricia, what if you inherit $1 million? What would you do?
If I were rich with that heritage, I will buy a big house.
Okay, Patricia, ask the same question or similar question to somebody in your group.
No, Fabiola?
Yes.
What will you do if you can travel to Australia?
I would.
Remember, Fabiola? Remember the big.
If I traveled to Australia, I would I would take some English lessons.
Okay, very good, and so forth. So why in this activity it took more, or we hesitated more?
Because you gave us less structure, because we have to think.
Exactly. But see the process? Step 1, step 2, step 3. If you jump to step 3, students will be lost. And then you will have the famous, teacher, ¿qué quiera? Miss, ¿cómo va aquí? Right? Or if you only keep on step 1 and step 2 is going to be boring. So follow the sequence, okay? 1, 2, and 3. How many exercises? That's totally dependent of you. It depends on your students. It depends how, I don't want to say smart or how quickly students get the point. Okay, that's totally up to you, but follow the sequence. All right, very good. And then the consolidation. After you've done the 3 drills, I will go personally. I would go pair work. Remember, the consolidation is to see if a student's got the grammar tense or not. Pair work.
Like the evaluation, right?
The evaluation, exactly. Describe your dream life. Your dream life in pairs. Pues if I had, I don't know, if it's teenagers, no? If I had the new PSP, I would blah, 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 blah. Or if I had blah, 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 blah. Okay, and you monitor and check if the students got it. So far, so good? Very good, excellent. All right, so for homework, you're going to transform your analysis in the same pairs. Your analysis, you're going to transform it into a main presentation planning. Something that what I do, now with activities, now more specific, with instructions, timing, blah, 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 you're going to transform it. What are we doing, Marta, for homework?
We are going to transform the activity. We just do it, but making better our work, like your presentation, teacher, with drill 1, wheel 2, wheel 2, wheel 3, and the consolidation activity. All the planning or the maintain, grammar, and all the activities.
Perfect, excellent. Remember, it's not the whole class, it's only the main presentation, the 20-minute, 25-minute presentation. Okay, very good. That's homework. And the class is being recorded, so you can watch it on YouTube. Again, it's private. I only have the first class as a show class, for marketing purposes, but now it's private. So you will have in the chat the link. Patricia, I will resend it to you because I just added to the chat. I'm sorry. Let's call it a day. And so let's practice. Is there any question, comment, suggestion, piropo? No.
Piropo? You said piropo? Yeah. Good class, Gerson. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosario. I appreciate the effort, or the sarcasm, whatever it is.
No. It was pretty real. Pretty real.
Thank
it
you,
was.
thank you.
I can say it. It's like, oh, you know, it's like aha moments every minute of your class, and I'm being very serious. So thank you.
Thank you, Rosario, for your words. You really meant to me. Coming from you, that you have like tons of experience.
Oh my God, stop that. Yeah, but I don't have the structure, you see?
That's very good. All right. So
Thank you.
thank you. So go over it, the class, if you have any questions for you to do homework, and get in touch with your partner so you can practice, and then we see each other next hour. Okay. So have a nice weekend. Drink a lot, party a lot, have sex, all the package together.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Gerson.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
weekend.
you.
Bye.
Nice to meet you to all.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
teacher. Bye.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you.
Bye, girls.
Bye.